Well, hello there, friends. So, wow, these videos are getting harder and tougher for me to make, but you know what? I got to make them. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the sewing machine today because it's like everybody's talking about it in comments, and people are writing me emails and they want to know what's included. You won't believe it, but at the time of this, um, right now that I'm recording this, the bid is only at $2,000, so the next bid is $2,500 for the whole complete setup. You know, it's not just the head that we're talking about here, and I'm going to show you in a little bit everything that's included. But I continue to get the emails and in the comments more they're asking about the sewing machine. So seems to be a lot of interest, and people are telling me that they want it, but I only got one bid. What's up with that? Uh, so you know me, I'm transparent, right? I always tell you the way it is. I don't try to fluff something up. But even one of the commenters said, don't give it away. Everything's worth like $7,000. And there's somebody here that's not too far away in Fort Worth. He just wrote me an email, and he's a F-35 mechanic, and he wants to do upholstery. If you can believe that. So awesome, huh? But anyway, he's close by and he's got interested in it. But like I say, the highest bidder wins. You only have to be able to pay for it, and you only have to be able to come pick it up. So as you know, the end of the auction is December 14th, 2025 at midnight. So you can get all your bids in. So we still have plenty of time as of this recording. But I'm figuring that probably people are going to be waiting till the last minute to make their bid. But because it's real slow bidding right now, a little too slow for me, actually. I got that first bid right away a week ago, and it hasn't moved since then. So come on, guys, jump in. $2,500. It's a good time to get in right now because you never know. You just never know. So here in the shop, we got a huge mess right now because we've already started boxing stuff and separating stuff and throwing stuff away. We took some stuff to the trash this morning. Oh man, you never realize what you got until you start really looking into what you got and realizing you can't take nothing with you. This is what I'm talking about right here. Yeah, I know everything is a huge mess. If you find value in my upholstery tutorials, now is an easier way to contribute to my YouTube channel. Buy a coffee by scanning this QR code now. Thank you. So this is everything that's included in the auction. Of course, we're talking about the Juki, the LU 2810 right there. Fantastic machine. It's got the long arm on here, okay? It's not like a regular sewing machine. And the sewing table, made in the USA. So we got the sewing table. It's got the servo motor under there. Okay, we got the knee lift right there. We got the accelerator pedal right there. So it's a complete table setup. Okay, along with the LED light. Okay, we got the thread tree right here. And guess what? I'm going to include all of my threads right here. So each one of these is like $45 for the big ones, and probably like $35 for the little ones. And not only that, but look at this. I got boxes of U bobbins. These are pretty expensive to go buy. And I've just recently bought these boxes. So that's the black. And here is some beaver. These are M bobbins in beaver. So that's all I ever use. So that's included. And not only that, but all the accessories that came with the sewing machine. I didn't even know what was in here until this morning because I never really looked. So we got like cutting stuff, scissors stuff. We got these metal bobbin cases here for you to wind your own bobbins. I have some kind of Juki documentation here. I have, look at this, and it's like a whole tool bag here. It's got some needles, screwdrivers. It's got some kind of guides or something. Let me see if I can open this up real quick. Oh, oh yeah, these are all the cheater stuff. So this is like guides and stuff here for the sewing machine. I never used them. I never put them on because I just never have. Oh, this is stuff here for the motor, I guess. Look at that. Didn't even know it was in there. Got some screwdriver stuff in there. Got some tweezers. Got some other cutters. Oh, look at this. More metal bobbin cases. Look at that. And more needles. More bobbins. Okay, got a lot of stuff in there. And then not only that, but got a lifetime supply of needles here that I bought. I don't know, I think there was like 100. You know, I probably replaced like 4 in the last 2 years. So these here would definitely last you forever. See if I can get that on there. So there are the 135 by 17. That's what I use for everything I do. I never change the needle. Here's another one. It's brand new. Never even opened it. So I got some chalk here. I got my box of Sharpies. I got all my oil cans here. I got a half a can of oil there. Wow, look at all this stuff. And then not only that, but I got a huge surprise. Huge surprise. I'm going to include this. I just thought about this a couple minutes ago. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in. Look at that. That's a press and snap tool. These are like $250. This thing is brand new. Not only that, but I have the other tips for this here. So that way you can change these out here for different types of snaps. I have those. All that's going to be included. So what do you guys think so far? You know, and if your truck is big enough, you can take the sewing table with you too. Because I'm not going to need it. You know, and to tell you the truth, if I couldn't do anything with it, I'd end up burning it. I'd have to destroy it. The shelves are getting bare. So there's good old number 7 right there at the top. That's where I normally keep it for my stitch length right there almost all the time. So if you're doing smaller items, I usually go to a smaller setting, like maybe 5 right there. Or if you're doing large items like canvas or something, you want to go larger, or car cover or something large, I go to a 7 or 8 or 9. So you can see here it has the oil level gauge right here. So I'm going to show you the bottom of this machine. So this is what the underside looks like. It's all self-oiling. Look at all those tubes that are going to all the oil points. That way, you know, in the old days you have to oil those individually. But look at that technology. Of course, we have the reverse right here. We have a walking foot right there. And we have the 1/4-inch welt foot right there. Look at that. I use that for almost everything I do. I never change that out. Well, maybe 1% of the time, but 99% of the time I keep that on my machine at all times, no matter what I'm sewing. And you can see right here, a little dirty, but I put a little guide right there. See that little green line right there? That's a guide. Kind of tells me like where my needle is gonna come, because when I'm sewing out here, I line everything up to the little green guide that I put. I don't know if you guys have ever thought of anything like that. If you did, put it in comments. And this is what the bobbin case looks like right there. That's how it works. So the sewing machine has never ever given me any trouble. It's never been in a shop for anything, for anything. It's been 100% reliable for me. And I suppose it wouldn't for you too. So the way to place your bid is to email me, okay, at rudolphsupholstery@gmail.com. You can see it right there. Okay, I'll also put the link in the description below, like they always say. So go ahead and make sure that you make it well known that you're interested in this machine and that you want to bid on it, you want to pay for it, you want to come pick it up, and it's yours. So in my last video's comments, a lot of people still seem to be confused. They think that I'm leaving upholstery and I'm leaving my channel. They're worried that I'm going to be closing up my channel and I'm going to take all my videos down. I'm telling them, no, 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 no. I have to keep the YouTube channel. In the future, I'm going to continue doing all my Sunday morning videos. And you know what? We're going to keep the learning going. Because I, really have to keep the YouTube channel going because that's my new income. I'm not going to be doing upholstery anymore. I can't charge thousands of dollars for upholstery anymore. So I have to rely on my YouTube income. So that's what all the, like, buy me a coffee and all that is all about. That's for your support to help keep this channel going. I had some people give me some pretty nasty emails or comments and emails telling me, "Oh, that's beyond you, begging for money. You shouldn't be doing that." And then I remind them. I said, "Well, you know what? I'm not doing upholstery anymore, but I want to keep the channel going so I can help the thousands of people that keep on telling me that I'm helping them. So of course I want to keep the channel going, but I have no income now. So that's why. That's exactly why. I'm not alone. I'm sure there's thousands of other YouTuber guys that are asking for contributions to their YouTube channel. I'm sure you've seen that too. So I'm not alone in that. But it's really going to be a necessity now. Before, YouTube income was like icing on the cake for me, right? Because I was making a lot more off of doing upholstery than what I ever was on YouTube. The YouTube income's not really that great. Sure, there are a lot of people on YouTube making millions of dollars, but that's not me. I got my little meager monthly income that I'm getting, but you know what? It helps. It sure helps. It helps me get some bills paid. It helps me to buy new equipment like the camera that I'm using right now. I put all that money back into my YouTube channel so that way I can improve my videos. Oh yeah, and the one guy that gave me the nasty email, he said, "If you can afford to go live on a paradise island, why are you begging for money?" And I told him, I said, "Well, first of all, right, because I'm not going to be doing upholstery anymore, so I'm going to lose that income. Second of all, where I'm going, costs about a third of what it costs for me to live here in Texas. Not only that, but I told him, I said, I don't want to retire in a nursing home here in Texas. I'd rather live out the rest of my days on a paradise island looking at the sunsets." Before those two people that, they're trying to bring me down, right? 98% of you guys, well, I guess it'd probably be more than that, wouldn't it? Do have words of encouragement for me, and I appreciate that so much. You know, it gives me a really good feeling inside to know that I have that support from you and encouragement. A lot of people they're still encouraging me, and in the buy me a coffee, I had some new buy a coffee subscribers. I got them listed in the section where I talk about buy me a coffee. You might want to rewind to that if you missed it. But man, they say the nicest things about me and to me. They want to help. They really believe in what I'm doing. So they're giving their hard-earned money, and they're showing their appreciation by contributing to the channel. So I'm going to continue boxing up stuff. I'm going to continue throwing away stuff. I'm going to continue selling stuff because I can't take it with me. So I hope to wish you some happy bidding if you're interested in this sewing machine right here. And until next time, we'll see ya.